Hello, TikTok. Today I want to talk about clinical trials. This has been in the news the last year ever since COVID and these vaccines, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. So let's just talk about clinical trials in general, not specifically for any disease or vaccines. So when a drug comes to market, it has to go through a series of clinical trials. So the drug company first finds a compound, finds a drug they think might work for a given disease, and they put it through what's called a phase 1 clinical trial. And a phase 1 clinical trial is really a way to see if it'll kill anyone, if it'll have any major side effects, if you're going to grow a third eye or if you're going to grow a tail, some crazy stuff like that. And then they go on to phase 2. Now, phase 1 is only about 20, 30, 40 patients. Phase 2 is roughly around 100 patients. And now they're trying to see if there's any other weird side effects and trying to fine-tune the dosage. And when all that's good, then they do phase 3 clinical trials. Now, before they start any of these trials, they have to get an FDA approval. So you and I can't just go out and do a clinical trial. It has to be done in the proper way, approved by the FDA, and then you follow through with what you've told them you're going to do. So when you get to phase 3, you recruit 2,000, 3,000 patients over a course of 2, 3, 4 years to see whether this drug really works. And you have end goals, and you monitor their side effects, and you analyze all this data statistically. You submit all of that to the FDA. The FDA reviews it, and then they decide whether or not it can be approved for prescribing. Once the FDA approves it and physicians can prescribe these drugs, these are now officially FDA approved. They've been given to a few thousand patients in the clinical trials, and they are no longer experimental. They are on the market. They have been shown to be effective for a given disease with a known set of side effects. And when doctors prescribe them, even though they're new to the market, where the FDA has just recently approved these drugs, they're not new to the human beings. Human beings have taken these drugs for a few years in these clinical trials. So yes, you have to be cautious about new drugs, but when they've gone through the FDA process and they've been approved, you can take these drugs, with the advice of your physician. So don't be afraid of recently approved medications.